Hi friends, I've just come out here to harvest some produce. I haven't really been out here in 2 weeks, so my kids got all sick and then I got sick, and it's my first time being sick in over 2 years, and I'm still feeling a bit tired, and my throat feels better today, but it's just been like it's like someone's gone at it with steel wool, you know. It's been really, really sore. But look what I've just found. Can you see that? So these broccolis here are actually sprouting broccolis. So that is why this head is not very big. So there's more coming up in all the between the leaves and the stem. So there's another one there. There's some more coming up here. There's some more here as well. But what's really exciting is I've got some real proper big broccolis coming up here as well. So it's very, very exciting. Right, I'm just going to have a poke around and see how these Swedes are going. But I wanted to pop in and say a big thank you to everyone who has sent over plants and seeds for our little seed plant swap. And I'll be sending you out some packages soon. It looks like the Swedes are all leaves and not much root yet, so they're not ready to harvest just yet. I am determined tonight to make a really nice dinner after just having soups for days on end. I'd like to do some roast veggies and a millet salad, and I like to put a massive amount of coriander in the salad. So I'm picking some coriander. It's very, very foggy this morning, and we're kind of lucky in that way because that means it's warmer because the clouds are sheltering us. So I'm not too cold out here, but I am very aware of the fact that I can't be out here for too long. So I like to look at June and July as times of a bit of rest from the gardening, just because then once August comes along, it starts to get crazy again with preparing for spring and planting loads of seeds into punnets. And then we're trying to keep those seedlings happy and watering, and it just, gets away then. So I'm trying to focus on some rest, on doing some inside things and doing other bits and pieces. And of course, being sick has slowed me down, and I've been doing lots of resting. So that's been nice because I'm not one for having a lot of rest. And I definitely pride myself in resting when my body tells me to do so. However, looking after 3 sick children, and I was running around a bit, it definitely got my immune system down, and I ended up getting sick myself. So not ideal. Oh, this coriander smells so good. It's just going to really take off once we get to spring. So I'm chopping it back as much as I like because there's quite a bit of it here, and I like to put in big amounts of greens into salads. And this will be a warm salad. We're having all warm things through winter. We're not wanting to cool our bodies down, particularly because we've been unwell. We want to have warming things going into our bodies. With the nature of things, I am rambling on now, and I was going to tell you what I'm planting this June. I'm going to be planting just one thing. So as I said, I'm having a bit of a rest the next couple of months. And seedlings don't tend to grow very fast in this weather that we have. We don't have as much sun, although we have had very sunny days of recent. But then we do get cloudy days as well. So things are not going to grow as fast and strong in the colder climates. Of course, you can put more seedlings in. So you could go ahead and put some more brassicas in. Just be prepared to protect them once it gets hotter. If you get cabbage moth, you'll need to protect those seedlings because they will start to get attacked once it does get warmer. And also keep the water up to them once it does get warmer as well, because they're going to take longer to come into fruiting. So they're going to fruit perhaps around the start of spring if you plant them now. And this is okay. You can plant brassicas all year round except for Brussels sprouts. So probably mostly broccoli, cabbage and cauliflower, and kale, of course, as well. You can plant some greens as well. I will perhaps be putting some seeds in the ground for spinach, but I'm as I said, I haven't been in the garden. I'm not sure how everything is growing at the moment. I need to check on the spinach I've got further up here. I'm gathering things have slowed down, although we've had a lot of rain and a lot of sunshine. So that's been fantastic. I hope you have all had some rain as well. And we've got some more rain to come. So things are feeling a bit calmer because I'm not having to water as much as well. The lettuces and that, they'll just take longer to grow up, but they're definitely things that you can plant right now. One thing I'm going to be planting is more broad beans. Now, some people do like putting their broad beans in June because they're less likely to go to flower until spring comes along. So I will be planting some of these broad beans hopefully today. If not, I'll be planting them tomorrow. I'm trying not to exhaust myself completely because, as I said, I want to do some cooking today. I want to cook a really nice couple of meals. But broad beans are something I'm going to be continuing to plant this month. In July, I'm not going to be planting much at all. I might not even plant anything in July. This lettuce is still doing really well. It's just so peaceful out here, bar the fact that I can hear my dogs digging around in one of the kindling stacks. They continually knock it over. I'm really looking forward to when we have our proper woodshed built. I can't see anything yet in the cauliflowers, but I can't wait till they start heading up. It's quite a bit of weeding for me to do throughout here as well. I'm not finding any slugs or snails or anything like that, which is quite common here. We don't tend to get many of them at all just because of the dryness of the area. There are some holes in things. They tend to be from the slaters and the earwigs. There is a bit of grass growing here. I need to really come out and do some weeding because with all the rain we've had and you get some sunshine and then all of a sudden the weeds are taking over. So that is one thing that I'm going to be doing throughout June and July is keeping on top of all the weeds and weeding around everything, preparing for when the weather does get warmer. Because once it gets warm, those weeds are just going to take over. I have seen the cockies in my garden once and they destroyed one plant that wasn't under netting. Spinach down here is quite small. The leaves are small because they're getting covered also by the brassica leaves. So they're just tiny little leaves, but that's kind of nice too. to harvest some baby spinach. I might just chop a few of these branches away and give them to the chickens today. There's also a few soggy leaves as well, which tells me that the water's sort of been sitting on the garden in that section. This garden does drain quite well, but I've also got some rust, more rust on these calendula plants here that I haven't managed to, get rid of all of the calendulas in this section. And when it dries up a bit, I need to come out here and really dig out a lot of these. And also probably harvest some of the fennels as well. The fennels are getting quite big. Let's harvest a few of these broccoli heads. Actually, I'm going to wait till they've sort of come up a bit more. Because it's sprouting broccoli, you want to wait till they break off a bit, and then we'll have a whole bunch of them to chuck into a stir fry. I'm starting to feel the cold a little bit now. I'm going to harvest some of this kale so I can make myself a green smoothie. So I've been having lots of greens while I've been sick, because green is a healing colour in the food world, full of lots of vitamin C. So I've been trying to have as much greens as possible. And what I do is, there's that kale that's got, a different colour coming through it. I'm excited to let this one go to seed and harvest the seeds from it. So I've got to put a little marker on the plant just to remind me which one it is, and see what happens when I plant the seeds again. See if I get some different colours still coming through. I don't think it's a deficiency, because all of the other plants in this section are green. So I'm interested to see what happens. So I consume the smoothies warm. I don't consume them cold, going back to that whole eating warm things to stay nice and warm in my body. Talking to you all is sort of exhausting me, really. But it's nice to bring you out here just to have a little glimpse at the garden and a little chat. So if the sun starts shining today, I shall come out again and I will plant some broad bean seeds. So this section here I planted for feeding to the animals. This is the area where my kids can take as much kale as they want. But until all of my kale plants are producing, because I've been taking quite a bit from them, until then I'm taking a bit from here as well. Look what I've just spotted here. Look at these fennels. This one looks so good. I'm inclined to want to pick them, but there is a fennel dish that I like to cook, and I might wait till I'm going to actually cook that meal. So I will pick these over the weekend. That's so exciting. And then they'll make room. Once I've taken these out, there'll be room for these leeks to get bigger, and the kale also to take over in this section. There's a sunflower right here that is still surviving. Only feet away on the other side of me, there's another sunflower that has died from the frost. So that's very interesting. All right, here I have my Brussels sprouts, and I have been coming out here and checking on my Brussels sprouts to see how the sprouts are going, and they are growing. It's very exciting. I'm going to chop a few leaves off them, but yeah, I'm just going to chop the leaves that are touching the ground. There are these little sprouts under here, and once I've chopped these away, you might be able to see some of them. All right, let's see if you can see some of the Brussels sprouts that are forming Can you see them there? They're so little still. You can see some under here as well. They're doing really well. I'm really excited to, when I do get to harvesting these, I'm going to really enjoy having a big bowl of Brussels sprouts. There are some really big kales under this netting. I haven't been harvesting from these, so they have been getting nice and big. There we are. These are the red Russian kales that I've got coming up through here. Quite a basket full of greens here, which is really lovely. I'm feeling exhausted from just that. Oh, I hope you are all really well and you're enjoying a bit of a rest from the garden, if that's what you choose to do. And I hope you stay well. I hope this is my one and only virus that I tend to get every 1 to 2 or 3 years. I'm going to be filming another video soon when I'm feeling a bit better on all the things I do using the plants that we grow as well to stay well and healthy and, you know, keep our immune systems boosted. So I'm looking forward to bringing you that video because I know that might help a lot of you to stay well. I know that I've had a reminder about other things that I do, and because there's so many years between getting sick, sometimes we forget some of the things that we do to help ourselves. There are things also that I do no matter what every winter just to keep my immune system boosted so that I don't end up getting sick. And I was doing all of those things this time around, but because my body was under stress and I didn't rest as soon as I was had that indication that I needed to rest, I pushed through, and when you push through, it backfires on you most of the time. So I hope you have enjoyed that tiny little tour of my garden, plus a little glimpse of what I'm planting this month. There's not going to be a proper tour. It's been nice for me to come out here and harvest a little bit and just have a really good look and see how things are growing. Even the onions here are just so big now, and these brassicas are getting quite big as well. They've got more room than the brassicas behind me, so it'll be interesting to see how they go. Throat's starting to hurt, so I'm going to say goodbye, and I will see you next week when I'm all better and ready for another wonderful video. I'm looking forward to delving into some topics that I've been wanting to talk to you all about during the winter while there's not much to see out here in the garden. But I'm also just looking forward to getting out here and gardening again. Take care, my friends, and I'll see you again soon.